You take a hype train and just overcook the crap out of it. And what do you get? Episode 6 of the Fresh Baked Niche podcast, where the best half baked conversations happen. I am your baker, Patrick, and today I'm doing more of a free-form thing. As you can see on the screen, I'm talking about the Switch 2 Direct that happened a little over 12 hours ago. I finally had some time to gather my thoughts. I've been fermenting on this since this morning, and I just want to kind of go through the trailer, provide my thoughts, and some additional information that wasn't covered in the direct that I'd like to talk about. I think is important. So this will probably not be edited in any capacity, so I do apologize. You're getting it raw, but yeah, I've had a whole day to just kind of collect my thoughts and just sit with it. I've listened to other people talk about it. I've sat down with my family and friends and got their input on it, got my thoughts out. But let's just get into it. I'm gonna kind of go through the direct and just talk about the various points. First of all, love this new introduction. Very cool. It's refreshing, I guess, to put it. It's nice to see that they've updated this, but it's a small change, That's not why we're here. We're here about the games, which, first of all, Mario Kart World. Love the name. I'm happy they dropped the numbers. And I honestly love what they're doing with this. I mean, the changes to the vehicles, the fact that they seem to self-modify to like flight mode, ski mode, boat mode. I like that. I love all the dopey little characters we're getting because you can be the cow, you can be the penguin from N64, you can be a crab. I love it. I love the costumes. I like that it's open world. I think they're absolutely going to hit it out of the park with this as a launch title. I don't want that. There's the cow. The new items, because like the coin box is back, but like mega mushrooms, the hammer bros, the hammer, the weird food things, because there's like burgers and sandwiches and drinks. I like it. It's neat. It's cool. It's fun. I like that a number of costumes are coming back from tour. So I'm very excited for this title, with a slight caveat there. And we'll get there later, but very exciting. Absolutely love to see it. I do like the free roam. I like that you can play with friends. Jumping ahead a bit, I don't care about this. First of all, I love that they try to introduce this thing and the audio and video is just completely off. So funny that they couldn't even get that right. And that's not even to talk about the weird double footage thing that happened halfway through during the third-party showcase. But knock off Discord if they have it. There it is. The knockoff Discord. Like, conceptually, I like this. I like that you can now talk, with your friends. At least, like, through official means that isn't the weird phone app. But I almost feel like it's too little too late. Most people already use things like Discord or, I don't know, Microsoft Teams at this point. I also love, if they show it, just how laggy those bottom screens are. I mean, it's their first time really doing something like this, but you'd think after all these years it would be just a bit better. But, hey, I guess we finally got it. I also think it's interesting that you have to have online to use it, except for like the first month or so. Or is it the first year? So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's cool. I mean, it's cool in the sense like they did it. I'm also not sure about this thing. The camera, which, again, we'll bring this up later, but they don't mention a price. They just kind of show it. It's simple. It looks fine. It just seems like a weird thing to do. It's beyond what I would consider a normal Nintendo novelty. Like, it is something completely different. But that's fine. You know, they always do off-the-wall stuff. I do like game sharing. That was a nice announcement. Oh my god, shut up. Thank you. Apologies. So yeah, I like the game sharing. I think that's really awesome. Especially with that weird new virtual card thing that they didn't really talk about in this direct. But I'm assuming it's something that will be also on the Switch 2 and not just the Switch 1. So I just like that the accessibility is, you know, increased. That was exciting news, I think, having 120 FPS with 1080p native resolution on handheld with, what is it, 4K at 60 frames when it's docked. Yeah, I mean, this is everything we wanted and more. I think it helps warrant the price, which, again, we'll get there because they certainly didn't. I mean, the Joy-Cons, whatever, the microphone, cool. I do think it's interesting that we're getting such a huge amount of storage on the system compared to the first. I mean, obviously, you're still probably going to need to buy a SD card, and oh boy, you have to get those express ones now, and those are like damn near triple the price of what regular SD cards are. But you know, the fact that the base model is this much bigger, I think is a good sign. I mean, I'd like to think it's a good sign. It could always be a situation where the games are going to be chunkier and maybe this will still feel like this. Not sure. I appreciate them mentioning that the dock has the built-in fans for cooling. This thing was quite the bait and switch, in my opinion. This is a tech demo. This is a pack-in title that you get for free. This is your Astro's Playroom. This is your Nintendo Land. I mean, it's kind of dopey. It's cutesy. I mean, everyone's memeing on the whole, oh, look, the magnets work because magnets. I appreciate that they're telling us that these buttons are no longer plastic and that they're actually metal. I also like how they verify the connection to make sure that you know that it's a strong one. What I don't like, jumping ahead, that part. Same day as the Switch 2, but it's a paid digital-only title. Why? Why? I mean, 1-2 Switch was the same thing, but that was at least more of a game. This is just a glorified manual that's been gamified. This shouldn't cost money. This should be like... This was my thoughts. This should be a tutorial on your Switch 2 to show you to go... It should teach you to go into the eShop, which theoretically has been redesigned. It'll show you how to navigate the new menus, teach you about whatever the new features are, and then they'd have you download this, oh wait a minute, free title to give you that experience. And then bingo bongo, you got a free tech demo. That's what that should have been, at least in my opinion. But, you know, it's Nintendo in 2025. They're just going to charge you for everything at this point. But SD card thing, okay, sure. Use the express ones, fine. I appreciate that they acknowledge system transferring. That was at least reassuring. I did like that. The new Pro controller, I think, looks just a little funny. I love these GR and GL buttons. I just think the front looks a little hokey now because of the C button just right here. I have a suspicion, for at least myself, if I'm gaming really hard, there's a chance I'll just slip off of this joystick and just bam, hit that button by accident. But, well, it's fine. I do also appreciate the audio jack that's in here. That's a nice touch, since a lot of people seem to be stepping away from those. This is a fun thing, I thought. The upgrades, the Switch 2 editions, because they don't tell you this in the Direct. But if you have the Online Plus expansion membership, these are free. You don't have to pay for the upgrade. So if you already have, like, Jamboree in this case, you get the free Switch 2 edition plus Jamboree TV upgrade at no additional cost. So same with, like, the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom upgrades, the Kirby and the Forgotten Land DLC. That is completely free to you, and that is fantastic. I wish they had made mention of it here. But, you gotta show us that you can move and groove with Bowser up on the stage. This thing felt weird, right? A voice navigation app with just some generic AI voice. I feel like it didn't need to be a thing through an app, or even a thing at all, because I thought the point of these games was exploration, but sure, whatever, dude. I am looking forward to this Kirby DLC, though. Loved Forgotten Land. Star-Crossed World seems like it's going to be just a nice little addition, maybe to get you to dust it off and play it again. A Prime 4 looking absolutely beautiful. Very excited. As well as ZA. I like how clean and crisp it looks running on Switch 2 hardware. This one felt funky. Because when they were first showing it and they were doing all the sound effects and the movie up and downies, I was like, oh, this might be some kind of, like, weird rhythm game or some kind of, like, a music thing. Or honestly, this could have even been, like, Mario Paint 2. But no, you get Cripple B-Ball. And that's fine. It's weird, but it's fine. It looks like it'll be a game you'd pick up for maybe $10, $15, play with a few friends for maybe a week or two, have an absolute blast with it, and then just kind of drop it for something else, because it's not bad. It's just Nintendo Rocket League, and that's fine. I do appreciate that you can gesture with your real hands. I think that's kind of funny. Elden Ring on the Switch, cool. Hades 2, solid. This was a point I wanted to talk about. So, a week or two ago, in someone else's live stream, I proposed the question of what if we got new amiibo? And all of a sudden, they're like, hey, Street Fighter 6 and amiibo. Now, what I thought was really weird is that they only talk about these three amiibo. But they aren't the only amiibo that were announced today. Because you got these three. They also weirdly announced these four. In addition to, I don't have a picture of it, but 6 of these characters are getting amiibo cards. And we're also getting this thing as an amiibo at some point. I think it's odd that that would be the only mention of amiibo was just these three, and it was just for half a second. But, Street Fighter 6 on the system, cool. Daemon X Machina sequel, love the first one. Very exciting that we're getting a sequel. Madden, don't care. Hogwarts Legacy, sure. I feel like most people have already played it who wanted to play it on something else at this point, but it's nice that it's an option. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 with what appeared to be SpongeBob DLC or expansion or something. Caught me off guard. Very exciting. It looks fresh as hell. I might actually consider picking this up. The Hitman collection seems awesome. But even more impressive is that 007 is making a return. I mean, the second they were like, hey, another title, and the second that bullet started to be loaded, I was just like, oh, I know what this is. It's 007. We're getting a James Bond game. Let's go. Bravely Default. Cool. I loved this back on the 3DS, so it's nice to see it make a return. This much, all this time later. Excuse me, I'm going to need a little water. So that's awesome. I think it gives people a chance to try this out. I had a ton of fun with it years ago. I probably should go back and replay it. Especially if they're going to be changing some, they're going to be adding some mini games and stuff. Yakuza. Very exciting. Hopefully it should run very well, and that should be just... It should be nice to have this on the system. Or it will be nice to have it on the system, to say. Hyrule Warriors... Okay. I mean, it's not my kind of franchise, but if you like it, sure. I mean, they did it for, Breath of the Wild, and then they had, a prequel, sequel thing, and I guess they're doing it again. Sure. That's fine, if it works for you. This is definitely the system to be trying to do these types of games on. This announcement right here filled me with joy. I was so excited to see the GameCube on NSO. I actually ran a prediction challenge with my friends. Whoever could get the most things correct on this Direct would win a small prize. And one of my things was, will we see a new NSO thing? If so, which ones? And I had DS, 3DS, Dreamcast, just some spitball crazy ideas. But this was one of them. And I'm so happy this one came true, because I was really, really hoping, at least this generation at some point, we would get GameCube games. And honestly, getting Soul Calibur 2, getting F-Zero, getting Wind Waker, and then what else? I don't remember everything. I mean, getting the wireless controller's awesome. Okay, so Sunshine, Fire Emblem, both Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness, original Mario Strikers since the remake flopped, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion. Just solid titles. I know it would have been cool to see maybe Double Dash or even Melee, but I'm sure those will come down the line at some other point. Arguably, this thing's launched, and within its first month, it's pretty stacked already, so I think honestly give it some time to really make those games, when they come out, feel just a little bit more worth it. Deltarune, episodes 3 and 4. Cool. Not a franchise I partake in, but that is awesome for people who do. Borderlands 4. Doesn't surprise me with what this thing is supposed to be putting out. So that'll be kind of cool to have that on handheld. Civ 7 with the mouse controls makes perfect sense. I think that honestly validates having that weird gimmick in the controllers. Wrestling, whatever. I stopped paying attention around here, the Survival Kids thing, because that's when the stream started really acting up. But we were supposed to get Enter the Gungeon 2. Which, when they first said that and I couldn't actually see it, I was a little confused, because we had a second one. It was called Exit the Gungeon, but no, it's actually Enter the Gungeon 2. So that's... I like the 3D. It looks like it runs very well. I don't remember seeing this one. Star Seeker. Oh, Astroneer. Okay, Astroneer is a fun title. So there you go. Cyberpunk, if it runs well enough, hell, more power to them. It was a great game on PS5. I'm sure it'll be fun on the Switch too. Final Fantasy VII Remake, perfect. Silk Song, for all of the 2 seconds it got mentioned. I am so happy for this community. And hopefully now they'll shut up about it when another direct happens, because boy oh boy, anytime I've been in any kind of live stream and anybody talks about Nintendo, one of the first immediate things is, oh, Silk Song. And it's like, no. But now this time, yes. So congratulations to that fan base. Just blah, 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 blah. This was a big one. I thought, like many others, that this was going to be Bloodborne 2. But no, it's what is it? Duskbloods. The Duskbloods, I'm sorry. And exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. I think that's fascinating, considering PlayStation basically has Bloodborne, and that will never ever leave the PS4 or whatever. And now we're going to have the Switch equivalent, where I'm sure Duskbloods will never leave this system, ever. And honestly, given this and Elden Ring, and God knows what else FromSoft is cooking up, I think FromSoft and Nintendo fans are going to be eating good for at least the first year or so. That is awesome. This trailer threw me right the hell off. Like a couple people, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's Kirby. Oh, hold on, this might be Smash. But then it's like, no, if it was Smash, something else would have happened, because this little sequence took a little too long. And that zoom in, it was like something else is happening. And then, boom. Immediately, I had to check in on my one friend to make sure he didn't die of a heart attack, because we were finally getting something with Kirby Air Ride. Now, I didn't know if it was a sequel, I didn't know if it was a remake, but the fact that it is a sequel, very exciting. I loved this title when I was a kid. I'm so happy Sakurai is coming back to work on it. Honestly, of the big 3 things out of this direct that I'm excited for, this might be the top one, honestly. And I want more information on it sooner than later. And then the biggest announcement, new Donkey Kong. I like the design. I like this world. The characters are cool. Absolutely love the destructible ground. I think it's a really solid direction to take this character, considering he's been kind of relegated to just weird remakes and ports of remakes for the past 5 years or so, 8 years. So I mean, Donkey Kong's absolutely popping off. Comes out I think a month after the Switch 2 does, so hell yeah, it's perfect. And then they let you know it's June 5th or whatever. The 2 versions, which I'm probably going to get the this one with the bundle just because of the pricing. Yeah, that was that. I mean, it was... Oh, and then the Treehouse events, they'll be happening tomorrow, and... Well, by the time this video comes out, it'll be today, but... for the next 2 days, we'll have those, plus all the content creators who were able to get into the hands-on event. So we'll see some more stuff. That'll be neat. And yeah, it was... It wasn't necessarily a bad direct, but I don't think it was a great direct either, especially for your new console. So to get into some of the other things, so this is the website for the Switch 2. You can go to the how to buy, because they got a weird pre-registration thing that doesn't seem like it's doing much for you. Because you can sign up for one of the 2 versions, but whichever one you pick, you're stuck in, and I accidentally picked the one without Mario Kart. Not that it matters, because you need to have 50 hours in games, which I do have. You must have had I think it was, you must have purchased Nintendo Switch Online prior to today. You also must have used the service for about a year. And the issue is, I have a family account and I'm not the person who pays for it, so I don't qualify. So, like many people out there, I'll have to find a, like a GameStop or a Best Buy and go that route. But thankfully, supposedly 7 million units, it shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of one of these. But, it looks good. It's pretty. I really can't believe it's around the corner. I mean, I'm thankful it's not like May, like some people were speculating, because, oh boy, today would have been a nightmare trying to get pre-order and stuff done. But, I mean, I think it's fine. That's not fine. That's bleh. It's definitely an upgrade. It's definitely, like, this thing will probably get a good 8 to 10 years out of it. And that is nice. I also love this. Honestly, I like that the top USB got a lot of love without them really talking about it, because both the charging and the camera. I think that's nice. Hopefully they do more with it in the future. I'm sure they will, but obviously we didn't see that today. Mouse mode felt a little lackluster, but again, it's a gimmick. It's a newer one at that. I'm hoping this doesn't become relegated like the IR sensor, where like they start putting it into controllers in the future and it doesn't really serve a purpose. Hopefully they really utilize this thing in the next decade. Yeah, C button, whatever, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, our new camera, which, it's funny, you still don't see a price on anything. They really want to keep that hidden, which is interesting. And the mention of the SD cards. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So if you go through the how to buy, that's when you find out about the prices, which, yeah, I'll just go into this one. You'll see if it loads, there it is. So $450 for just the base model. It's $500 for with the game. It's at the high end of what I was hoping for. I mean, I was really hoping for $400, like a number of people, but I think we'll take the fact that it is under $500 for just the system. And honestly, I think we'll also take the $50 with a pack in. I mean, it's not a physical copy, it's a digital copy, but that's the way things are moving. To kind of go into it, because they weren't really shown off a ton. So we got we saw the Pro Controller, that's fine. But like MSRP of $90 on the Joy-Cons. Yeah, I mean, last time it was $80, and now we have like the weird new grips and the mouse mode and just the way it's built. I think a $10 increase isn't too bad, all things considered. This is an outrage. $35 for the charging grip that I'm sure nobody will buy, because, let's be honest, your Joy-Cons are probably almost always going to be in the Switch. So just kind of whatever. $13 for the straps. That seems like a bit much for what is essentially just some plastic with, I'm assuming, some kind of a felt to make the mouse thing a little bit easier. But, Joy-Con wheels. I don't think they showed these at all in the Direct. It would have been nice to have seen these. I think $20 for the set of 2 is not too bad. I like the colors. I like the design. It's very... almost reminds me of like an Oculus Rift without the handles, like the controllers. I like how that slides in and out. That's, again, very cute, very nice. So that's kind of cool. $50 for the camera isn't terrible, all things considered. Although, again, this is a huge novelty. I probably will not be picking this up. It just feels like a Connect 2 kind of situation, and something they wanted to try, and that's fine. But not for me. $110 for the dock and set seems a bit high, but given what this thing is doing, sure. You also get that high-speed HDMI cable, so I guess it's kind of worth it. $35 for the case is fine. $80 for the big all-in-one that holds everything. Sure. $30 for an AC adapter seems to be a bit much, but it's got that Nintendo name on it, so that's fine. And then this is the launch page for Mario Kart World. Some nice screenshots. Get to see some of the characters. I do wish they had like a full-on roster page where you could see at least who they showed off today, and maybe hinted at who's more or who else will be there. Some nice renders of these new characters, because everybody has basically what appears to be a new redesign, which is nice. I am seeing definitely what a lot of people are saying, that they do look more like the Mario movie versions, but that's fine. It's there's some characters. I mean, the only one I really care about is Shy Guy. That's fine. Free roam, very exciting. The wheels. Game chat, don't care. Again, whatever. And this is the big thing for me. So it's an $80 MSRP with asterisks next to it, because my understanding, based on the Twitters from like Nintendo of, I don't remember, Spain, it is $80 for the digital version, but it's like $90 for the physical. I am somebody who I prefer my physical copies, but yikes-a-roni, I might have to go with the bundle just to get this thing for $50 instead of even the $80, because that is insane. And I'm not sure why this all of a sudden this huge hike up. Although, to be fair, if this game's doing what it's showing, and it holds up to what hype it's generating, that'll be worth it, I think. I mean, this, maybe not 90, but this for sure. I also like that there's 2 Goombas. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Maybe you can have multiple people be the same character at the same time. It's also nice to see characters like the Penguin from N64, Spike. Pokey does appear to be actually driving a Monty Mole, or the other one whose name I'm forgetting. The Bitty Bud. So that's just, it's nice. This render's awesome. Yeah, the bundle. I thought they had a thing where they showed you the map, because it looked like there was 29 courses, which seemed like a weird number, but oh yeah, this map, because there's clearly one here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Oh, there might be 31. Never mind, I lied. I just can't count. Point being, big map, huge map. Love how connected it is. I'm hoping you don't have to follow these routes, though, from place to place, and it's more freeform, so maybe I could maybe cut through this bit, or even go out and around here. Because I would love to see at least one person, maybe from this track, pop off, go around the whole continent, and back around, and just see how quickly they could do that. That'd be fun. And then Donkey Kong Bonanza. Absolutely looking forward to this. Oops, gotta hit the about. Go through their weird page. I'm digging the new design, by the way. I'm loving this art style. He's got a lot of character going on. I think a little bit more than he's had in a few years. It's very, very cool. I mean, this game just also looks just beautiful. It has a nice style. The different areas you can be in, just they look so vibrant and so fun. The destructible environments is just amazing. Not just for not just for Donkey Kong, but honestly just as a Nintendo thing. This is just cool to see them do. Blah blah blah, bananas. Oh, your new bad guys, which I feel like we've had an orangutan character before back in Donkey Kong Country. I might be misremembering. And this weird Voidco thing where clearly this guy's like ahead. Also, I don't know if she was the same chick from the trailer. She seems different somehow. If she is the same one, cool. But if she's not, there's two of them, so that's kind of neat. I like the style, I like the pants. I like this guy's bow tie. Sick. Yeah, it's just so expressive. It's just so fun. I think it's a good direction. I want to say this is the same people who did Odyssey, so I'm in very high expectations, and I think they're gonna nail it. And there we are. The MSRP of $70, which I think that is the most reasonable thing I've seen. But again, from what I've heard, this is the little asterisk. 70 digital, 80 physical. So that's I'm not sure why all of a sudden physical is getting a huge uptick in value, although technically you should be paying more for a physical copy than a digital, since you aren't worrying about the actual manufacturing process, but whatever. So yeah, that's it was kind of just a rundown on my thoughts. Like I said, I thought it was an okay direct. When I first watched it, I was super hyped, super pumped, and now it's like, okay, I like these couple of games, but like the chat thing confuses me, the basketball game confuses me, the tech demo being if it's more than like $5, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, the fact that it's not a pack-in is stupid, but it shouldn't be more than like, honest to God, $10, or there's something really wrong. But I don't know. I know myself. I'm still probably gonna pick one up on launch. I'll probably get the Mario Kart edition just to save that like $30-$40. But yeah, I do wish they would have showed us maybe a game case, because I don't think they didn't show us that. I wish they would have talked about the price of anything, because the fact that like the camera's not included but they didn't mention it is weird. They have two versions of the Switch but don't talk about how much they cost. The fact that games have gone up this much and it wasn't even slightly mentioned, it just seems a little odd to me. But hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. Their fans are going to buy their stuff anyways. I know I will. But I think this generation I'll be definitely a little more conscientious of what I'm grabbing and when. So, hey, if you like this episode, please give me that like, maybe even subscribe. Or, just let your friends know about it. Something. And, maybe down in the comments, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like about this direct. Or, any additional info that maybe came out that wasn't explicitly stated that you think is neat. Because, like, for me, the biggest thing was Amiibo. I'm a huge collector. I have almost all of the actual figurines, and I've got a good chunk of the cards. So for me, that was news. I wish that was part of the actual direct, not just the 3 for Street Fighter 6. But, just let me know down in the comments below. And, hey, as always, thank you for baking with me. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.